Jeez, I can't get excited for the summers. I've won 10, you know. I can't even go to the red carpet because I think to myself, I've won more summers than anybody here.
Those that don't win continuously discrediting.
The people that don't win always discredit it because they want to make themselves feel better. Summers matter. You're going to speak to Kwesta, who needs to decide whether he's going to give you this R1 million deal or not. He's never heard your music, but if you tell him that you've won summers, he's more likely to give you the deal than someone who hasn't.
Nkululeko on Cultr.
Nkululeko on Cultr. Hello and welcome to yet another episode with our regular guest, Mr. N to the O to the T to the A. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Yo, what a week.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a week. I was talking to you about your hair. You arguing that you did not have dreadlocks.
No, I wouldn't call it dreadlocks because it wasn't like intentional for me to have it.
Why
locked.
did it look the way that it looked? Why did it look like dreadlocks?
It just, I don't know, it twisted. But like another thing, like I didn't like intentionally like twist it or anything like that, but I can just see how maybe the motion of one's hand when you're washing your hair just maybe is circular or whatever, and then it ends up twisting. But it's not like I was actually like, with sunlight and because I've done that before, but not that time around. But yeah. And either way, I mean, I wasn't intentionally, I was doing that so that I wouldn't get attention.
What do you mean?
From women. That's it. Just to scare off women, make myself look like I'm broke.
Did he even look attractive? When he had
better now. No, he looks better now. I remember telling someone that now he looks way better now.
Yeah, exactly. So I did that intentionally.
You agree that you look better without the hair?
Of course I do. Because I cut the hair so that I could look good. Because I care about my presentation and everything else. But I did that because, I just didn't want attention. I was traveling the country, the continent, the globe actually, getting into rooms that, are reserved for the elite. And also like I just had access to resources that would make me a target for women who are looking for a come up. So I didn't want women to be attracted to me and distract me from my mission.
I doubt that a lot of people will believe that those were not dreadlocks.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The main point is that they didn't think that, oh, wow, he's a hunk or he's a stud. Like I'm a very attractive man. So I have to, try very hard to make myself look unattractive. And that, that was the best efforts that I could have, which is no effort.
Nigga.
Light-skinned, freckles.
Yeah.
You understand? Like everything exotic that women are like, what? This guy is
fucking
special.
Skinny though.
But they don't care about muscle. I mean, like there's guys with big bellies that women are attracted to as well. Women are not really into like your body type. In fact, women don't like well-built buff men because they put you under pressure. They make you feel like every time a buff man, right, looks at his girlfriend, she thinks to herself, do I look fat in these jeans? Is that why he's looking at me? It brings up insecurities. Like, so seriously, like, I mean, like those guys that are in gym, if they were really, really attractive to women, they wouldn't be in gym. They wouldn't have time. They'd be busy, with women. But they've got time to be in gym. You know what I mean? They've got focus for that and they're dedicating their time to that and everything else. You don't see those guys chilling at restaurants, holding flowers, going on dates, pushing prams. You don't see those guys doing that.
Is it a farce that we've been conditioned to think that the aspiration is a six-pack? So
No. That's just that. No, that is not for women. Men's health is not for women, dog. The only six-packs you see are on men's health. Seriously.
Yeah, but
it's for men who want to look fit.
You do know that we are sold the idea that we
not women, little girls, teenagers, yes. Oh, that's hunky. Oh, yes. Oh, he's got a six-pack and all that stuff. But women actually don't care about that. In fact, they find it as a threat. You got a six-pack and then she's got a 4-pack. And then she's like, ish.
We have women. She agrees.
Yeah, I'm serious, bro. I'm serious. Like, trust me. Like, trust me. Me looking the way I am is like, women are like, oh, I want to put some meat on him. I look like a project.
Well, there's a lot of things that Kevin Samuels taught us about women.
Yeah, they're hypergamous. You know what I mean? And also, like, it's like, for me, it's like, it's just really difficult, you know? It's really difficult to not give up on black women, because like being attracted to black women is a challenge, because black women are programmed to think black men are a danger.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree with you
and to reject us. But if you look at the stats on Tinder, black women are the least desirable women.
Yep.
And that's
On
just
all
statistic.
online dating apps.
Everywhere. So, you know,
They get the least invites. They get the least dates.
so therefore, me as an attractive black man, you know, it's easy pickings. You know, like, seriously.
I think the audience will want to say a thing or two about you.
They can say whatever they-
continuously describing yourself as an attractive black man. You're feeling
Which
yourself.
audience are they men? No, I don't need to feel myself,
You're
bro.
feeling yourself,
I don't
man.
need to feel myself. I've got like 8,000 desperate women in my WhatsApp,
Oh my
hoping
God.
that I'd one day read their messages. I'm serious.
Nigga, you capping.
I'm not. I just ignore. I don't like, seriously, even like
But you do know that you are not a poor man, so that is a factor as well.
you understand what I'm
You're
saying?
not a poor
So that's why I couldn't be attractive, because number one, you got resources. That's why I said I've got access to. Sorry, Siri says that's not nice. You know, yeah. Siri's a white woman.
Have you dabbled? Yeah. Actually, I'm actually thinking about that now. That a white woman is giving you instructions.
To tell me, to say that's not. Imagine me taking instructions from a black woman. No ways.
Yeah, I think you make a very good point actually about the challenges that we're having with dating black women who are being conditioned to think that we are a threat. It's like a struggle, even being in marriage, even being in long-term
Everything. It's a struggle. You have to deal with the potential of like 70% of black families don't have fathers. So your chances are that you're going to find a girl with daddy issues.
Yep.
Who doesn't have a good, strong male role model, who doesn't understand partnership, who doesn't understand interdependence, who doesn't understand certain gender roles. You know, there are women who want to celebrate. Like, you know, I'm sure over the past weekend, there were a lot of single mothers who were saying, hey, let's celebrate Father's Day and everything else, because like the erasure of the black man in society has really got, you know, astounding effects. You go to like restaurants, do you find any black good looking young girls that are maybe like students that are working as waitresses? No, you don't. Because why? They can go to any nightclub, put on a wave and get paid 3,000 rands a night. And then if they get lucky on one of the nights, some guy's going to say, let me take you home for 10,000 rand. You know what I mean? And they're making 12,000 a weekend, you know, selling their bodies. If you go through Instagram, I mean, every girl is thirst trapping and everything else. You know what I mean? It's like, I look at that and thinking to myself, I mean, if the Ayanda Tabetes of this world are thirst trappers, you know, busy getting impregnated by people's husbands and denying it as if people won't find out, as if Dubai is like, you know, some place that's far flung that no one goes to, you know, the Mihlalis of this world. I mean, like, imagine there's some guys who think a Mihlali is attractive. And all I think is that ngamteng. And they don't understand that if Mihlali is for sale, that means she's an object, which means you can kill her if you want to. I mean, you know, it's like buying a dog. You can put it down.
Yeah,
And
when I observed the Karabo, you remember the Karabo Mokoena
Same thing.
incident, and
Same thing.
I realized that the build up to the man investing and paying and investing and paying and taking to higher and higher levels. I understand the humanity of that case, but when I look at it forensically and cold-heartedly, I'm like, this was always gonna go downhill if she ever cheated. If the young man says, "I've spent 100,000 on you or 200,000,"
You understand? And that's it. And the thing is this, is that if you don't give a woman money, she'll say you're stingy. If you're trying to build her, trying to make her independent, and then she'll go out there into the world and say, you know what, I'm an independent woman. And then you'll think to yourself, but hold on, I pay your bills, I keep a roof over your head, I do A, B, C, and D. And then you're going out there telling the world that, you know, I don't play any role in your life, which means you are erasing my role as well, which means you don't see me. And it shows when I give you something and you don't give me any sense of appreciation for it, And it's really terrible because we're seeing it in the United States. But in the United States, their advantage is that black people are in the minority there. So it's not like a widespread problem throughout their whole entire community. Black people are 13% of the population. Yes, they've got the same 70-30 split in terms of fatherless households. But with white people, only 25% of the households don't have a father in them. So, you don't see any white girls selling themselves except for the poor white girls who've got daddy issues. But in the main, you don't see them. Like if you go to any, I was at the panel beta right now, the white girls are there working behind the desk. You know what I mean? There's white girls working. Where do you see attractive black women working? Like conventionally attractive black women working. You don't see them working at all. They're waking up on some Nigerian's couch, scrolling through their phone, looking for another sucker that's going to put them on another couch or book them a flight or book them a trip, or you know what I mean? And that's all they're doing. They're just, they're glorified sex workers. So it's just sad because we are susceptible to this thing, and it's been happening. They've been using us or using black women as sex slaves since Sarah Baartman days. I mean, the red light district in Amsterdam was, filled with women from Africa who were sold as slaves. Why are they taking women from Africa? Because if you take a Dutch girl in the red light district and then she's standing there by the window, maybe her dad might walk past. So you can't do that. So if you get these girls from Africa, their dads are all the way down at the bottom of the world. And no one's going to recognize them and no one feels for them. And, you can just objectify them and use them however you want to. And that's why Sarah Baartman wouldn't even want to come back to South Africa, because she thinks to herself like, okay, yes, but I've been a prostitute here. It's not that my body was on display. Yes, they put her body in display, but actually she was used as a sexual exploit, for European men to live out their sexual fantasies. And there's nothing we can do about it in South Africa as black men, because we've been emasculated to the point where we can't even defend black women from their enemies. And we can't even defend them from themselves. We can't even defend them from the media, which corrupts their view of the world. You've got a young lady that's working with you and contributing to us putting together this show. But I'm sure that, some of her contemporaries, if any of them were like the model shape, model size, and model build, they wouldn't be here behind cameras contributing to any sort of production. And you're thinking to yourself, actually, what are we producing? A country of glorified sex workers? Because if they look at their role models, there's no difference. If they look at the girls that they find on TV, there's no difference. It's all about who can be sexploited.
Yeah, and there's a large scale indoctrination of young girls. And I'm glad that you bring that up, actually, because as you are saying it, I realize that every single time I look at reality television, social media, it's like they are just being conditioned. This is the pipeline. This is the alternative.
All of them are Kardashians. Look, Kris Kardashian is a pimp. She pimped her daughter, made her do a sex tape, sell it. You know what I mean? So now you think to yourself, those are the values that we are now importing. At first, we used to look at the Kardashians and like, oh my goodness, how could they do that? But now we're looking at South African, they've normalized it so much. You go onto TikTok, there's a girl who's saying, yeah, use your 1,000 Rand man to get you to a 5,000 Rand man, to get you to a 20,000 Rand man, to get you to a 50,000 Rand man, to get you to the man that's going to kill you because you're a position.
Yeah, because eventually that's what's going to happen. That's a very powerful point. There was one lady, I think, who pushed back with you and Mac G, and I think you were saying...
Bobbylicious. Yeah. And what does she do for a living? She traffics girls to Nigeria so that they can party with people.
Just give us a background of what she
that's
is.
it. She's a trafficker. She traffics girls.
She's not in the media or something
No, I mean, like, what is she in the media? She was in the media. She was a model at some point in time. And then she was trafficked. And then she thought, well, if it happened to me, it can happen to all these other girls. And since her youth is not there to be exploited anymore, she can use her experience to exploit the youth of others.
Yeah, what was she saying about you specifically?
I don't know what she was saying. She was saying like, she was calling me a male chauvinist.
Yeah, she was
Imagine a week before, she calls me a male chauvinist. I'm sitting across from Fiesta Black. A young woman who has been exploited in the industry, rejected and everything else. I'm trying to assist her. I don't know how many female artists I've dedicated myself to assisting and also empowering, especially a young black woman as well. But because I'm critical of the sexploitation that's happening in our media, now they're going to call me a male chauvinist. I mean, damn it, what has she done for black women other than selling their bodies? What has she done? Nothing.
I don't know
Nothing.
enough
There's
about
not. There's not. Well, the thing is this: nothing comes to mind because you don't know her, and the only reason she's commenting about me is because I'm known.
And she was saying you and MacG, she would rather,
Why is she putting me and
she would
MacG
rather-
together? She must address
you would rather
MacG.
talk about men, don't talk about women. I think that
I
was
talk about men all the time.
Yeah,
I talk about men all the time. How many times have I called out men?
yeah.
You know that I'm
And other
consistent.
men have sued you for talking about.
You understand?
Yeah.
Men have sued me for like, come on, man. I've got the legal fees to prove it. So, like, she's got no leg to stand on.
Where do you think that's coming from, though? 'Cause I don't think she's the only woman who, when she listens to
she's
what
being
you're saying-
told by whoever it is. Maybe some guy who feels threatened by me is telling her, yo, come bring this guy down. But there's nothing that can stick. They don't have files on me. They've got nothing on me. Like, you don't go out there and tell the truth like I do and not be careful not to get your hand caught in the cookie jar. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, I know my discipline. And that's why I'm able to speak the truth, because I know that I'm really, really disciplined. Speaking of which, sorry that I kept you waiting a little bit longer than you expected me today.
Nah, it's all good.
I-
It's
I
all
had
good.
a-
I also appreciate the exchange that you always are willing to come through to us. And we're doing
Okay.
another interview as well. We're already here.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you so much for even saying that and acknowledging the fact.
Yeah, no, I had to make you wait. And I know you've got something really important to do after this. So,
Yeah, for sure. But we're building something. We're building. Let's stick to the women thing. This capturing of Father's Day, capturing of the identification of fathers' roles in the children by women. When it's Father's Day, they say, Happy Father's Day to myself. You've called it out.
Yeah.
Oguti, what are they trying to do? What's wrong
Yeah.
with you guys?
Yeah.
And you've received some backlash on that.
I've received backlash, and I'm thinking to myself, the person who's giving me backlash, right, is someone who, number one, their company owes me money, right? But it's fine. It's water under the bridge. I mean, it's an inconsequential amount of money. Anyway, and same person who walks around with a Goyard bag. You know how much Goyard is? I had to Google how much a Goyard bag
What
is.
is a Goyard bag?
Exactly. It's 180,000 Rand bag.
Yo,
You understand what I'm saying?
that's obscene.
And then you're calling me out for what? Why can't you address that thing on your own timeline without coming to my timeline? Because I've got influence, because I'm influential. You understand? And she works for an agency that does influence marketing, humans. And Mr. Smeg is like, nah, it's the worst app I've ever seen. Why? Because they exploit people. So you're an exploiter, and then you're wanting to make yourself look good on my timeline and everything else. And it's like, you're still one of those people that are just out there trying to destroy black men. Like, why do you guys have to destroy black men? So what if your dad left? Your dad left. Destroy that man. Not all of us are your dad. You understand what I'm saying? Why does your trauma have to now be projected? Because you've got an influential space in the media, and our media, I told you, it's like a couple conglomerates and everything else.
Yeah.
So these publicists can have, an outsized influence on people's public perception. And you look at our media has been programming people to tell them that black men are a danger. These black men are your fathers. These black men are your brothers. And if your media just keeps telling you that these black men are a danger, these black men are criminals, how are you ever going to look at them as people that you can have civil engagements or civil relationships with, or marriages with, or partnerships with? You understand? How are we ever going to work together? And at the end of the day, these white guys don't want you. These Asian guys don't want you. Chinese, Indian, you name them. They don't want you. The Arabs don't want you. You also don't want yourselves. And it's because the media is programming black women to hate themselves and to hate black men.
That's the one dating group that they need the most. Black men. That's
It's
the
not
one
It's not about dating
demographic.
group. It's about safety.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you need to be safe as a woman. You're not safe unless you've got a man there to protect you. You understand? So, I mean, if they want to destroy their only line of defense, they're only contributing to their own demise.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to myself, or Happy Father's Day to myself. I've always thought that that's fucking narcissist.
Imagine.
And it became a cultural phenomenon.
Imagine.
The first few people did it, and all of a sudden, every Father's Day, there's
Bro, it's worse.
millions of women who are saying Happy
Bro,
Mother's
it's worse.
Yeah.
What is a teacher in slang?
Day. Teacher.
Yeah. What do we call it? A teacher?
Teaser or something like that.
Misa.
Miss-
Mistress.
Okay.
Okay, so now clean. We feminized the work of teaching, right? So all our kids go to school, clean. In school, they say no, they need to also in the curriculum speak about issues of current affairs. So all these female teachers are saying, hey, Amber Heard has not been heard by the court. and proves that men can abuse women and women don't get hurt when they say they're being abused. Right? Johnny Depp won the case. Now, because Abo Miza need to push this agenda that men are the danger, they're going to demonize Johnny Depp, right? And then what are all the boy children inside that class going to think? This is what's happening in school classrooms right now.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's disproportionately more teachers
that are female.
teachers.
Exactly. Because why? We call them Abo Miza. We don't say Abo
Mistress,
Menier.
yeah.
Menier is principal. Maybe if there's a male principal. But most of the teachers are female. You understand what I'm saying? So the feminism that is being pushed onto our kids as well in school is even worsening it. We don't even see it because you're not in the classroom. Your child's not going to tell you, oh, yeah, we're discussing the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing. Okay. Wow. You were discussing that in class? Okay. And the teacher has got an outsized influence on the child's life. The child is more likely to believe the teacher than they are to believe their parents.
They're with them 8 hours a day.
Forget the seniority. The fact that this is your teacher. This is someone who's being paid to teach you.
Yeah.
Not your parents. Your parents are not your teachers. So we've removed the parents from their role as teachers, as instructors. We've removed the grandparents from the household. So the kids don't even know their grandparents. And because of the language barrier, the kids can't even speak to their grandparents. The grandparents speak a foreign language, to their kids. You know what I mean? They speak the language that is not allowed in class. Hey, don't speak in this classroom.
Sure.
You understand? Verstaan? Yeah. So,
Do you hate women?
No, I love them. And I hate what's happening to them. And there's nothing that women can do to save themselves. I just want women to stop destroying black men. But don't worry. I'm working on it. Like, I'm wearing this mask from my gents. And I've been at their farm, spending a week there, working out plans on how we're going to restore the dignity of young black men in particular, but men as well. We're going to restore chivalry, and we're going to make sure that men know their role and understand that our black sisters need to be protected from the enemies that are now living in their minds.
It took me a while to accept that I also have to be slightly more aggressive in my stance but protecting of our image as black men, because we've been docile in the consumption of be careful when you're dealing with women's issues. You can't speak like you're speaking now.
We've been silenced.
It took me a while. And I realized, when I consume you, Kevin Samuels, no, man, we need to be aggressive because we are under attack. And it took me a while to realize that we are under attack.
We're not the ones who are under attack. They are under attack.
Yeah.
Because we are the defense line. The shield is being broken. Their protection is being removed. So they are even more vulnerable. And therefore, they listen to the voices inside their heads. People are controlled by their thoughts, and they don't think that that is some form of insanity. Your thoughts can go anywhere, meander, you understand? And if you don't have the actual discipline to understand, like, this is my thoughts, my mind can play tricks on me.
Switch this off. I'm so sorry.
My mind can play tricks on me and everything else. You'll end up being a slave to your thoughts. Everything you think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm a slave to my thoughts, I see a woman with a big butt walking past, if I'm attracted to that type of woman, and then all of a sudden now, because my thoughts are telling me that I need to engage her, all of a sudden I now have to say something, or I have to say, it's like those guys who are construction workers who are slave to their thoughts. In their mind, they think, let me try my luck at this woman. Let me say something. Hey, Beyonce, whatever. You know what I mean? Because you're a slave to your thoughts.
Yeah.
You just think it, and then it comes to you can't even discern, okay, this is inappropriate. This is not the right time. Right now, she can't see me in any way other than she's just walking past, going from A to B and everything else. It's an inconvenient moment.
Yeah.
Why would I want to be an annoyance? Why would I want to be a nuisance? Why would I want to do that to myself? And if those men thought to themselves that they're actually making a nuisance of themselves, they wouldn't be behaving like that. But their thoughts are telling them, hey, what if you get lucky? And that thought has not been actually well thought out, because the likelihood of that happening is close to zero, because this woman is on her path to somewhere and you are an annoyance. You are actually endangering her. You're threatening her. You are uninvited. You're giving her unwanted attention.
Yeah.
You understand?
I've always had a problem approaching women walking to somewhere, because that's how I always rationalize
Why?
it. She's going somewhere.
Because you don't control?
She's going somewhere.
Because your thoughts, you think about it and then you think twice.
Yeah.
And then you're not controlled by your impulses
Yeah.
and your instincts to say, oh, you understand? But also, as well, you can't just look at women as sexual objects.
Yeah.
You need to be able to control your thoughts. And sometimes when you're having like thoughts that are wrong, you should be able to condemn those thoughts within your own mind. No,
Sure.
that's the wrong thought.
Sure.
You know, because you can't stop your thoughts from coming in, but you can stop how you feel about those thoughts. If you feel like, okay, that's a good thought or that's a bad thought. You understand? And once it's a bad thought, then, you know, you've dealt with it and you're past it. You're like, you put that in the bin of things that you thought that should be discarded. You know? So we need to step up our protection of black women. And that means that we need to step up our upliftment of black men.
Yeah, it also means we are going to have these uncomfortable conversations with each other, because you cannot undo the damage that the media has done over the past 3-4 decades. Between
3-4 decades.
You know, I'm just saying, like media, television, social media has proliferated the damaging of our relationship.
But the media started as soon as, you know,
I mean, South Africa's access
the missions, as soon as the missions came in, slavery and all that type of stuff, it's been hundreds of years. It's centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries. You know, we've got that generational poverty of self-esteem. You know, we don't see ourselves as something worth being valued or something worth being treasured. Number one. And we need to change that about ourselves. You know, we need more India Iris out there as role models, you know. But they got rid of the India Iris because they made black women think that, you know, they need to embrace their blackness. And then they gave us Destiny's Child, independent women.
Brown skin, I'm not my hair.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
All the women independent.
That's what I'm saying with India Iris.
Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and their pockets full of grown. Then all you ballers, leave your girl with her friends. Because it's 11:30 and the club is jumping. Yes, true, you got a man. Yes, true, you got a girl. But the party ain't get started. Come on, dog.
And India Ario,
those are the values.
And
then they said, we don't want that. We don't want that brown skin. Come up against my brown skin. They said, Jill Scott, no, we don't want to hear you. They said, Erykah Badu, no. We can do without you.
Yeah, and you could see the gradual erosion of what kind of imagery that's being eliminated.
And when Erykah Badu writes songs that are uplifting about black people, they're okay. But when you better call Tyrone.
Yeah.
Call him. You understand? So when she's bringing down the black man and tell him, come on, help you get your shit and leave. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
And the most beautiful song that I've come to love in the last 2 years, but it's an older song, is The Other Side of the Game. She is uplifting. It's a song called The Other Side of the Game. She is saying to her man, I understand the kind of work that you do. I think the man is a thug or something like that. I understand the game is very dangerous, but just know that I'm next to you. Just know that I support you.
I'm your partner.
Yeah. The Other Side of the Game is the most beautiful song.
But guess what? You won't hear that on the radio.
Absolutely.
You understand? You won't get that. Won't get supported. The record company won't do that. You know, they won't do that. They want to show black men as killers. You know, killing each other, murdering each other, savages for the entertainment of white teenagers who can live vicariously.
They can experience blackness through the music without experiencing.
They can experience toxic masculinity through black music, because toxic masculinity is not an exclusively black thing, but you know, they've made black masculinity toxic, you know, and which is a problem. You know, black women are told that they need to be the head of the household. They need to be in charge, because you can't trust black men, because black men are sellouts and all that type of stuff. So, you know, I mean, if Naledi Mashego thinks her dad is a sellout, that's true. But my dad educated his brothers-in-law, his sisters-in-law, his nieces, nephews. You know, my dad is like a scholarship fund. He bursted people with his own money, not like Ace Makashule, where he used our money, taxpayers' money, or Gupta money, or wherever. You know what I mean? So that some of the money his son can be stacking up pay how many, I don't know how many thousands, but maybe like close to 200,000 rands in cash that his son was basically showing around without any invoices, violating FICA laws.
Yeah, just on the music lastly before we move on to something else. Was it your decision with Kwesta? Because my introduction with Kwesta, just as I'm thinking about music, the meaning of music, Kwesta was a boom bap rapper at some point, and then I saw the open letter. I remember reading it when I was 20, 21. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
And then there was a change
I wrote that
in
letter.
sound. Yes, I know that you wrote that. Now, I know it now, but I didn't know. I remember reading it. It was so... You've always been so bright, even at that young age, because it was so powerful. I read all of it, and you sent it to the radio stations, particularly 5FM at the time. But
about 5FM, I sent it to the SABC board.
Yeah, and I remember that there was a video that Kwesta shot with
Crash Car Burn.
The dance group. There's mannequins.
Oh, repertoires, yeah.
The repertoires, yes.
That's
I used to
another
love the repertoires.
Yeah.
And that was boom bappy. And then at some point he then switches to
It was crunk.
Yeah, type of thing. Yeah.
His raps were in Zulu. His punchlines were in Zulu, but the sound that was bumping in the clubs at that point in time was crunk. The problem was that DJ Dimples, DJ Milkshake, and all of them ran the clubs. And they were only playing American music. So we needed to select beats that sound like the songs that they play so that they at least play our songs. And they still didn't play that song.
Sure.
And then, they dictated what we do. And then we went trap then, because they went trap. They were starting to play some trap songs. Then we did Boom Shakalaka, and then that started getting play. And then that's when the levy broke. But even so, when we did that trap, Boom Shakalaka, Ubanamanga, Mr. Cool on this number, Sazobuta Lezaga, eh, Ubazotwala, Pool Nabantwana, and Asfuna ma underage. Boom shakalaka, room for another, but my room's got another babe. Abas two slabafana, but you tabantwana tinas boostaba underpaid. That's me. I wrote that.
Wow. That's fucking incredible.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like, even then, I was like, yo, let's stay away from underage girls.
Yeah.
You understand? And those who are underpaid, they are still working, let's assist them. Let's be partners. Values lost in the noise, in the trap. But I've always been about those consistent positive messages. But I mean, like, if you look at the stuff that he was doing, he's got songs like I Shall Not Forget. He's got songs like Find a Way. He's got songs like Sister. You know what I mean? So he was also on the same tangent. But I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like a bunch of guys who are all talented, can write music, and we collaborated for very many years to produce some of the best records in South African hip-hop history.
Yeah, but bringing it back to us as a people and the language and even the 45 ppm or
45 RPM, yeah.
Yeah. Was it largely your influence?
Well, I mean, that's my decision.
To that point, yeah.
No, I'm the producer.
Yeah.
So, like, my decision is to select the product that we end up having. So yeah, I mean, even like that, like, I produced that to basically give him a style, a sound, and everything else that he could run with. And yeah, I guess he got stuck there in the sound that I produced.
Even the change of voice, because he wasn't.
Yeah, the tone. Yeah, that was
wasn't
me.
In the bass.
Yeah, that's
he wasn't
it.
into.
He was
doing
very
that
much
or-
sounding. He was sounding like Pro Kid.
Yes,
and I said, nah.
yes.
I said, we need to have the deep voice, because I was listening to a lot of Rick Ross at the time, and I was like, you know what? Rick Ross doesn't have punchlines, so I made him listen to a whole lot of Rick, and I was like, this guy doesn't have. He has statement lines. Statement lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know Pablo.
Yeah.
Noriega, the real Noriega. He owe me 100 favors. You understand what I'm saying? So even when you
Oh
look
yeah, it's true, because I remember with
it's not a punchline.
Ashton Martin music is
Yeah,
like
understand?
life's so short. Fuck it, I don't want to
go to court.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got the budget for the lawyer though.
Yeah. That's not even a punchline, but I remember that shit.
It's
Like,
statements.
He makes
dog.
statements.
He makes statements. You know,
With
made
his
men
voice as well,
ain't
with his
made to make
powerful voice.
statements, but you know, that's the whole entire thing. So we got that from Rick Ross. You know,
Was it a discussion per se? And
Yeah,
was it
it was
reluctant to change?
No, dude. At the end of the day, when we're working as a team, the object is to go to number one.
Yeah.
So any suggestion that is
Anything
helping
that drives
us
to
go
that
forward,
place, yeah. Beautiful, man.
you know.
Yeah, Summer Award nominations, they're out.
Yeah.
Osama, Zakes Bantwini, 7 nominations, but more than anything else,
But I
because
did
you are
say
in
I did
industry-
say that Zakes is going to dominate at the
Yeah.
Summers. I did say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to win 2 awards. He's going to win the Best Airplay Award. You know, I'm just sad that Cassper withdrew Siyathandana from being nominated.
Is that the piano song?
Yes, the one with the
lady?
Buhle.
Yes.
Yeah, he did that just to spite her. You know what I mean? And it's not like Abby Doza is going to get any nominations without
Why are you
Cassper going
saying
for
that?
it.
Do you know
it's not.
factually that he
I know.
did that?
I know. Yes.
Why?
How? Because that's why it's not nominated. Because it's supposed to be in Record of the Year. After Osama, it was the second most played song
Yeah, I remember
within the period.
Yeah, and I remember the numbers. I used to see it.
And it was
always
the
on
number
the
one
top.
song played in 2021.
That's his song.
The year, in the calendar year 2021.
he's-
But from the submission period, which starts, I think, between the end of February one year to the 1st of March the next year, or something like that. Yeah. It's his song. You know, it should have been nominated for Record of the Year. You don't submit for Record of the Year. They just take the top 20 most played songs, like in terms of spins.
Oh, that's how you qualify for
Yeah, I
it.
understand. That's how the top 20. So, you know,
would
and the
do-
video as well was
But-
also in the
okay,
top 20.
So let's try to be as factual as possible. Was he not always at some point just saying "fuck the Summers"?
No, he said that.
So it's not as if 2022 is a unique year where
But you need to sign papers, permission slips, and everything else.
No, what I'm saying is, it's not as if he submitted for 2021 or 2020.
That's not the point.
2019.
No, he in the past years he never had a record that was in the top 20 that would have qualified automatically. Record of the Year qualifies automatically.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's it.
Yeah. So they need your consent for consideration, your signature for it.
Yeah, basically. They need the consent of all
Is
the
it not
parties.
consistent with him saying
It might be
"fuck
consistent
awards"?
at the end of
Besides
the day.
fighting
It might
Buhle,
be
as you
consistent, but
say.
he didn't have to pay for a submission fee. He didn't have to pay the fees or anything else. You understand?
Yeah.
And he's with Universal. He said,
But
"Fuck."
he's
with
consistent
Universal.
with
He's
him.
been consistent by saying, "I need to be independent." But he's with Universal now. He's with Def Jam Africa,
But
right?
I get what you're saying.
So
But-
therefore,
but
there's the
with
one
regards to the
inconsistency.
Summers,
The second inconsistency, it's got nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, it's not about him. It's bigger than him. The guy who was collaborating with Abby Doza is not going to get another chance. I'm telling you, he's not going to get another chance because he has never had another hit. He got nominated the last time Ile Pleni Lendile because that was Major League.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But still, Cassper has a stance on the Summers.
His stance
is
on the
not-
Summers.
Yes.
His stance on the Summers. He didn't withdraw his signature when we submitted in good for best collaboration. He didn't withdraw his. He gave us.
That's not his song. It's a feature.
It matters not. It matters not. At the end of the day, those two artists, Abby Doza, that's what I'm saying. The guy who's staying at his house making beats for him and everything else
Yeah.
deserves that recognition. To say, yo, I'm summer nominated for Record of the Year and everything. Because that song has done really, really well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
done really well. Who loses at the end of the day? Those are the people who are losing. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about those young artists that are losing out on an opportunity to be nominated for the Summers. But I
But
mean,
for
like,
balance sake, Cassper has a middle finger on the Summers.
Yeah.
Even if it drops
Yeah.
a hit for this period for consideration of 2023, even if it's the most
what I'm
played,
saying is that the only reason it wasn't nominated is because he deliberately withdrew it.
because he has a consistent stance with regards to the summer and the
No,
awards.
no. He doesn't have a consistent stance because he does not withdraw nominations when he's featured.
Would it change
He has
anything?
exceptions.
Would it change anything if he's featured on Ngudu and
It was nominated for Record of the Year.
Yes, but if he withdraws, would it change
Yes, it means that we can't submit it for Record of the It wouldn't be nominated for
even
Record
though
of the
it's
Year.
not his song?
Yes, because everyone who's a contributor on the song needs to sign for the song. You understand? When we submitted for Wale,
Yeah.
we needed to get Wale's signature for permission, for Spirit. You understand? So, it is what it is, though. You know what I mean?
Why would he need to spy to Buhle? Was there a
Because
falling out?
yes,
or-
there was a falling
Okay,
out.
alright.
So yeah,
I'm
So
sorry for not being clued up about that. There was a falling out.
there was a falling out, but I mean, it was his own doing because he lied about who wrote the song. You know what I mean? He said he wrote the song and they got the melody from Bob Sinclair. So there's no way he could have written the melody. He said, I wrote the melody. You can't have written a melody that you copied from another song, because that would have mean that you wrote Bob Sinclair's original melody.
Yeah.
For World Hold On.
Yeah. I remember the song, yeah.
You know, which is a global smash hit. So, you know, and that's it. I'm just happy that Father of Zen, Kid X got nominated.
Oh, yes, we're going to talk about that.
It was his third consecutive
Best hip-hop album.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'm just trying to, in my head, figure out...
World, hold
on. Oh, yes, clearly. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I can see the connection now.
Yeah. So they just peeled that and then translated into
Zulu. Yeah, cool. Let's move on from Cassper, because I don't really want us to hop on the same things. You've said your piece, and I've tried to push back on that he already has an original stance anyways with the Summers, and then you've substantiated your claim. I will leave it to the people to judge. The Summers, best hip-hop, there was Father of Zen by Kid X, who's very close to you, and I think there's Aries there.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Logan,
25K. Oga MT, no? 20 Peli Machiavelli. Yes, I saw. I don't know who's the fifth one as well. That's there. What's your, like, are you, okay, maybe we can double check it on the phone. Yeah. What's your take on that? Is that a strong lineup for the nominees for Best Hip Hop?
Like, a group of death.
Yeah. Hip hop has always been very difficult, though.
It's always contentious.
It's always been very difficult.
But if we're being honest,
but full disclosure, out here go Kid X.
Yeah.
Whatever you're about to say next, out here.
Nah, dog. Me, I'm impartial. For me, my favorite of the projects was Aries. That was my favorite project. I think also because of the mixing and mastering as well. I preferred that to, but Father of Zen is like, you know, just like it's a very grown, mature, you know, it's...
Yeah, I'm checking through the list as well. So you would pick, okay, best hip-hop album, Kid X, Father of Zen, 25K, Peli Machiavelli, Aries, Today's Tragedy, Tomorrow's Memory, mixtape, MT, Logan, Blackie. Yeah, Blackie was the one we missed before
Blackie,
now. So you would give it to Aries.
I'd give it to Aries.
Okay. There was a lot of uproar as well, because I mean, before the nomination announcements, there was plaque being given to Blackie, 10 times platinum. You've always spoken about...
Not 10 times platinum.
Whatever it is, like multiple platinum or something like that. I just want to build up to that point. Uguti now, the backlash is that he only has one nomination.
No. The only person who knows what 10 times platinum is me.
Yeah, of course. You can break it down. And you've always spoke out...
It takes a lot. It takes a lot of people. It takes a lot of people to make you go 10 times platinum. Yeah.
What is the figure? If you can break it down.
10 times platinum. What is platinum right now?
Is it not 40,000?
For a single is 20,000, so 200,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is considering streams?
Everything.
Okay.
Whatever. Streams, ringback tones. You know what I mean? 22 ringback tones is equal to one sale.
So you are arguing against the 400,000, 200,000 for Oblak, because we can check it on Spotify.
No, it's not. He's not 10 times he's got plaques for maybe 10 different songs, maybe.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
Gold, platinum, but nothing is anywhere near 10 times platinum.
Okay, let me just check Blackie's numbers on...
No, Spotify is... Those don't tell you what those are not indicative, because you can't...
I know,
use
like,
Spotify
we can...
Nah, you cannot, because the thing is this, is that those streams, for the streams to count, right, they need to be premium streams, number one, not freemium streams. So Spotify has got a freemium model. So only the premium streams count, number one.
I'm on Spotify Premium.
Yeah, so your streams would count,
and
they need to be in South Africa.
Okay, not from any other,
not from
Russian bots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
again, like once you minus that, and you know the streams.
There's a million for one song called million streams.
It takes 25 million for it to go platinum.
Okay, in terms of its streams
alone.
Okay, cool. All right, I see what you're saying. And then you're picking Aries for best hip hop album?
Yeah, well, I said that's my favorite
Okay.
of the album.
But of course, that means you're picking him out of the 5.
No. The judges decide.
No.
The summers are decided by the
Obviously,
judges.
we are having a conversation, and you're saying that's your winner.
According to the judges, what I think the judges would probably give it to Blackie.
Is there stronger? What is
Yeah,
when you look at the breakdown,
bigger singles at Impact, Radio Impact. He had Yeah with Nasty C. He had Siga, which also did some nice numbers. He had Hold, which was also doing very well on the streams as well. And the album just stayed on the charts for a very long time. I think a little bit longer than A Reese's album. So if we were just to compare on that, but I'm just saying, like for me, just the A
body of work is A Reese for you.
like that's the best I've ever heard A Reese rap. I don't know why he dropped other projects after that, because he just took away from, had that just been his only, because now it's like, even the latest project is like, it's like, my goodness, you're in decline. But, hopefully he'll get signed by MMG and he'll be in studio with some elite rappers who can really push him, because I think maybe the lack of competition is really
MMG is Maybach Music Group. Okay, so there are murmurs that they're having a conversation?
No, they're having conversations.
Okay,
not
cool.
murmurs.
Nice one. Yeah. They're saying that he's got a strong following similar to Cassper in terms of his followers take on people with points of views about him. Like just what we were saying now. Have you noticed that?
It's just trolls.
They call them slimes or some shit like that.
Yeah, but it's just teenagers.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
When you have all the time.
So they've got no buying power.
Yeah.
You understand? They got all the time in the world. They're sitting in class, not listening to their teachers, trolling people.
I'm going to listen to the album that you're picking as a good body of work. I'll listen to it.
It's solid.
tonight.
I listened to it I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the J. Cole album, actually.
Sure. Okay, I'll listen.
But it made me go back to listening to the J. Cole album.
Yeah, I'm very indifferent to these young niggas. It's like sometimes they have
Did you enjoy the J. Cole?
I like Kendrick
Off-Season.
more than... Nah, I don't think I've listened to that.
I like Listen to that.
But I'll listen to this definitely tonight.
Listen to both.
Yeah.
Because for a comparative analysis, to say, okay, how far away is what is presumed to be South Africa's best rapper?
Yeah, I tried with Upleke, and this is not hate. I made an effort.
No ways.
I really tried.
You can't listen to that's kiddies' music.
I'm 32 years old, bro.
Yeah.
And I have a family, and I have, responsibilities.
Yeah, I can't be listening to that.
Yeah, lift me up.
The thing is this. Let me tell you something, nah? You listen to Jay-Z because Jay-Z is a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Now, if you're making more money than the rapper you're listening to, you're less disposed to just taking, why would I take advice?
Yeah.
From someone?
444 was important for us because
it's like,
touches on business and
you understand? And
like
also, this guy has actually made it. We've actually seen him make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we listen to Kanye, we're like, this is a billionaire.
Yes.
You understand? It's like, he's not in our league. Now, imagine if Kanye was just a broke dude, and you're like, come on. I've built businesses, I've sold companies, I've started new businesses, and then you can't really listen to, and that's why I don't listen to much of the rap that's out today, because I'm so far beyond the level.
Sure, obviously.
Life experience that these rappers are on.
Sure.
And plus, it's just like little 23-year-old kids who are gang banging from the streets in America, most of them, who haven't seen life and who just say some really ignorant stuff. I'm on 30s, the new 20, nigga. I'm so hot still. Better broad, better automobile. You understand? And by the song's end, I probably start another trend. I know everything you want to do. I did all that by the age of 21.
We're too old for that shit.
Yeah.
But for balance and for the ability to talk about it, you have to always try. I tried with Blake. I'm sorry, Sham. Maybe 4 songs. It's 6 different months, and I'm like, I'm trying because I have to have a conversation about it. So let me listen to it a little bit. But it's like, sorry. Let's talk about the summers and what they mean today in South African music.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, it's an accolade. Obviously, there are people who lose summers who will make it seem like it's nothing, but trust me, it's important to say you're a summer award winning. But I mean, geez, I can't get excited for the summers. The first time I went to the summers, I was in high school. I was in grade 11. So when was that? 2007. Nah? Yeah, around probably 2007 or 2008, either grade 11 or matric. I've won 10, you know. I can't even go to the red carpet because I think to myself, I've won more summers than anybody here. So I'm over them. But I mean, I do understand why people...
But it's factual.
You know what I mean? It's
factual.
like, you know, I mean...
But the politics of it and the discrediting, those that don't win, continuously discrediting.
The people that don't win always discredit it because they want to make themselves feel better.
But
make
is it
seem
valid
like
or not?
It's not valid. Summers matter. You're going to speak to Kwesta, who needs to decide whether he's going to give you this R1 million deal or not. He's never heard your music. But if you tell him that you've won summers, he's more likely to give you the deal than someone who hasn't. And that's it. It's all about bottom line at the end of the day. You know, that's why you keep these things here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's not about your followers to see. It's about the actual people that you're doing business with, saying, okay, you've been recognized by
trust in the
institutions.
brand.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can you buy summers?
You can buy Record of the Year. You can buy like 100 SIM cards and then vote for yourself. Like, I'm sure that's what they're doing right now. Right now, the voting awards. Yeah, those are the ones. That's how I lost Record of the Year to Hell Nah.
That was a dope song, though.
Not better than good. Oh, Wololo.
I'm too waving like a format. I'm going to give it to you like a doormat.
I don't know what that is. Who's
That's Hell No.
No, okay.
That was a dope song.
Okay, nah.
I
know
wish
is the chorus.
I wish I can recite all of it. Like I love that song. At the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, but I don't think it was the Record of the Year.
Yeah, I get the fact that airplay and
It's not even that. It's not a generational.
Yeah, so
no,
social
it's not
impact.
a generational song.
No, I get it. Ungood bro, like what had social impact.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
was
it
played
was that was
across the
more.
country.
That was disappointing. You know, like Vulindlela lost to Nkalagat. That was understandable. That one.
Oh yeah, Ungalagata, Jesus Christ, man.
Vulindlela lost.
Yeah, to
Nkalagat.
Ungalagata, and Vulindlela was 500,000 copies.
You understand what I'm saying?
But
Nkalagat
Ungalagata
was
is still
100,000.
Ungalagata. But still, Ungalagata, white, black, cricket stadium, rugby stadium.
Vulindlela.
And Vulindlela is Vulindlela. 500,000, bro. I remember just hearing that 500,000.
And guess
cities.
what happened?
Yeah.
Then Brenda snatched the trophy from Mendoza. But it was just a dummy trophy. But she snatched it from him backstage.
And she took it.
What was he going to do? That's Brenda Fassie, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, you don't deserve this award, and snatched it from him.
And she was godly.
You understand?
And there were awards where she was winning and she was not there.
Can you believe that both of them are not here with us?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
for sure.
Wow.
For sure.
And
man.
that was 2001.
I like it though.
21
I
years
like
ago.
the comparison though, like Vulindlela and Ngalagata and one beating the other, but both of them have like iconic status.
Yeah.
Those two songs have iconic status.
You understand? It's just like Wololo and Ngut. Both
Yeah.
of them lost to Hell Nah.
And Wololo was massive as well. And I think it's the introduction of Gqom. I know it didn't start
Yeah,
there,
but
but it's
yeah,
like
exactly,
the
to the
introduction of
mainstream.
Gqom to mainstream. Yeah.
Exactly. It's even on Black Panther.
Wavuke kuseni, awazulale. That was
Yeah.
a dope song. I don't
Yeah.
think she can surpass that, can she?
Why would you need to? You just need one generational hit. It's the same thing I said to what you call Fiesta Black. You just need one generational hit, dog. You just need that one generational hit and you can milk it for the rest of your life, dog.
And Mercy was substantiating.
I mean, she
that.
was even on the Black Panther soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like with another song, but either way, that's it.
And Mercy Pegela was substantiating that
That's
in the
it.
event. 'Cause
Exactly.
She keeps on talking Aisha Samateki, and you can't
Yeah.
deny
You can't.
that was an incredible
You
track.
understand what I'm saying? When she's gone, Asazo Shamateki.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of the summers, and you've explained to us what it does to an artist, and it makes sense to me.
Yeah,
as
for
you're
a
saying.
brand and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
You put that next to your bio. Summer award winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
But
matters.
are the judges incorruptible? Uncorruptible?
No, the judges are useless.
Who are the judges? And how
Judges
are
are
they
useless, whoever they are. I don't know.
How are they selected?
They're selected
Bro, you are
because they're in the
inside.
media.
You are
Yeah,
an
they're in the
inside.
media and they know people. So they've got their favorites, people who they like, someone who stepped on their toes at the club,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone who greeted them nicely, and then they score based on that. And then they also score based on like objective metrics like airplay, sales, etc., etc.
But it's an aggregation. Let's say hip hop will have 5 different people, so they will get the aggregate. So is it not something like that?
Well, some people judge multiple categories, but the judges need to have
It's not
some,
one judge
some
for
level
category.
of I wouldn't call it expertise, but some knowledge of the specific genre that they're judging. Yeah.
And there would be more than one. I just want to get to
Yeah,
that point.
there's more than one.
More than one
Yeah,
in each category.
yeah, probably like 5 or more.
Sure.
Yeah, minimum 5, I think, in each category.
And it's possible for an artist to know who they are. To try
They
and
announce
influence.
them. They say no. They announce them. After each summer award, there's like a magazine, the summer magazine, which tells you, okay, who are the judges in which category this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's known. You know, but they're not supposed to be speaking to each other or speaking about
What they're doing.
Yeah,
Trying to influence
amongst each
the
other.
others.
Yeah, but
the
they
others'
do.
view about.
But they do.
Yeah.
They're all on the same Twitter. You know,
Yeah, one way or the other, you'll see.
they're all on the same
what they
social
thought.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we know what you like. You know what you mess with. We know which artists you posted with on your timeline and which artists you don't give a rat's ass about.
Yeah. As a spectacle, if you were given the responsibility and being paid to be a creative director, would you try?
I'd do it for free, number one.
Okay, but would you have the ability, and what would you do to make it a cultural phenomenon again? Because when we grew up, the summers were the thing. Like we've just spoken glowingly about Mendoza and Brenda and the dynamic. Just to bring the interest back to the people, what would you do?
Well, I'd involve schools. That's it. Very simple. I'd involve the schools. You know what I mean? Number one, the announcements would be hosted by certain schools that make the schools compete to host certain announcements. And then we go, crossing over to Morris Isaacson High School. You guys are announcing the best Maskandi acts. And then they do their little thing to involve the kids in it as well.
Throughout the show or giving them
I'm talking
30
about
minutes?
everything. Like the announcement. That's what I would do. I'd make sure that
The
from a
announcement
grassroots
of
level,
the nominees.
nominees, everything. It matters.
And the actual award show itself?
And I'd make sure that the kids in schools are educated about the South African Music Awards. They know that from school. You know, just the same way we educate kids about gambling and all those types of things at schools, we do roadshows at the schools. We teach them at the schools. That's where kids learn, right? So then why don't we go to where the kids learn and teach them about the awards? Because some of those kids that are in those schools are going to be receiving these awards soon.
That will be it for you in terms of maximizing its reach, resuscitating it, making it have
That's
cultural
it.
impact
Just
again.
that one small, simple thing. You bring the you know, it's just like Kwesta Titch. How did he make his brand like relevant? He went to schools, kept going to schools. And people like, yeah, he's doing all this school, whatever. And now he's bigger than Nasty C and Aries. Possibly Blackie. It's bigger than all of them.
I have to check that.
You don't have to check.
There's Ndwana and Zazen.
You can see.
These young niggas
He was
are-
in Estonia. He was in Qatar. He's traveling the entire continent. He's touring in Europe. You know, he's big. And I said, people clown me when I said Focalistic and Kwesta Titch are going to be the biggest things. They clown me. I said, what do you know, Nota? I guess a lot more than those people that clown me.
Yeah. And was we fact check and we verify along with that.
I'll go to his Instagram. You'll see where his shows are. He was in Lubumbashi.
Yeah.
Yeah, in DRC.
Lubumbashi is DRC, yeah.
You understand? Come on, bro. What's the population in that country?
100 million?
More. But
More.
either way.
Okay, cool. I love your piece on the summers. I wanted to explore that to what can be improved to still have trust in it and so on. So thank you so much for that. Can we go to presidency in Ramaphosa? Do you believe that in
Ramaphosa.
December- what are the dynamics? I mean, okay, just
We discussed this last time.
yes.
And
But
I said-
there were not enough developments to know what was going to happen.
Well,
yeah.
They went public. But I knew.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no way you can hide the fact that you're a window dresser forever. Your skeletons are going to come out. You understand? It's just like the CR17 bank statements, same thing. Yeah, you try hard to hide them and everything else. But we know that's the way the ANC works. We've seen. You bribe your way into conferences. That's how it works. It worked that way when Zuma was buying the conference from Mbeki. You know? So obviously, Jabu Muleketi represents Mbeki's interests, and Mbeki's interests are aligned with Ramaphosa's interests. So Jabu Moleketi is one of the people that has helped fund Harith and Partners, which owns Arena Holdings, which owns Sowetan, which owns Times, Sunday Times, and all that stuff. So they're not gonna report disparagingly about that. And you could see that, Eusebius Makaiser did 2 podcasts. He did one where he was calling out Cyril, and he did one where Pierre DeForce was like, yeah, Cyril has gotten himself into a lot of trouble. He's got some questions to answer for the Times. Why didn't he use that same one that he used for his own podcast on the Times podcast? Because there's no way the editor of the Times is going to have anything that is calling for Ramaphosa to step aside or step down. And yeah, I mean, like, it's not like he's the first corrupt leader of the ANC. All of them are corrupt, the ANC. It's rotten to the core, the ANC. To the core. Everything, even things that come from it, even the EFF, it does the same thing that they were taught from the school of corruption, the Academy of National Corruption. Is that ANC? Oh my goodness. I thought, yeah. I think
Academy of National Corruption. It took me a while to put that together. That's no perspective.
He got there. So I mean, they're the same. It's like Floyd Shivambu is saying, Cyril Ramaphosa is guilty of money laundering, and I'm like, Floyd Shivambu, you would know. You're a well-known money launderer. We know between you and your brother, you've laundered money from BBBS. You bought Sud nightclub in Vilagazi Street, and that's the nightclub that you used to launder money. I mean, even like, what's this place? Skonka. Mm-hmm. Those bottles that you see buying there, what is that? Those are not bottles being bought. That's money being laundered. Seriously.
How so?
Come on.
I've never been to Konka.
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't care for Konka.
Yeah, but anyway,
besides us deviating.
So I'm not deviating. I'm not deviating.
Well,
I want to put it in perspective.
Sure.
So, who owns DSTV?
We had this conversation.
Naspers.
Yeah.
Naspers is headed up by Putima Anyele, who is Cyril Ramaphosa's right-hand woman. And, so DSTV...
they're trying very hard.
So DSTV owns the news in South Africa. Mm. Is there a news channel that you can watch without DSTV's permission? No. So there you go. So they're going to try and sanitize them as much. SABC is a little bit more partisan because it's still got some RET people inside. It's got some staunch ANC loyalists. And then it's got the random journalists that can be bribed by any and everybody. The one who is willing to push a story or push a narrative because Julius gave them 50,000 or paid for their kids' school fees or whatever it is. You know what I mean? That's the fact that our media is so conglomeratized, you know what I mean? And is basically a cartel of media houses that are owned by certain power brokers, means that, the only people that are actually going to be condemning of Ramaphosa right now is the Sunday World, which is owned by Julius Malema's BFF. So it's going to be really difficult for Shamila Batoy, who was appointed by Cyril Ramaphosa to be the Director of Public Prosecutions nationally, to then charge Ramaphosa, even with the evidence. There's more than enough. This is more than prima facie evidence.
Yeah.
This is worse than spy tapes. You understand? And spy tapes. Oh, who leaked those spy tapes? The spy tapes were used to what? To prove that there must have been collusion to have Zuma charged between Bulelani Ngoka and damn it, it's tough for me to get those closer tricks. Ngoka. Yeah. So Bulelani, so the spy tapes, yeah. So to say that there was collusion and therefore there was political interference, and that's why Zuma was charged, right? And then Mkotedi Mpie, who succeeded Bulelani, then dropped the charges because he said there was political interference, and then the spy tapes were sealed, and then the charges were preferred again. Right? Okay, cool. So we've got more than that. There's more than that smoking gun in
'Cause
this
I remember
instance.
even from the spy tapes that it was fuzzy. What do we know?
We haven't even heard the spy tapes.
Exactly.
And what was said, it was
really
direct.
fuzzy.
It wasn't really.
Yeah,
This
but
one,
This one is very clear. There are visuals. There's a Namibian president who's being implicated. You can connect the dots.
there's lots of evidence.
Absolutely.
The evidence is like, my goodness. And there has been no denial of the evidence. The only thing Cyril has said, I've never stolen money, especially taxpayers' money. No one said that you've stolen money. We're saying that you've used your position and undue influence to enrich yourself. Right? Now, if that is stealing via consent, yes. So we can say maybe you're lying about not having stolen. But even if you haven't stolen, you've used undue influence. Right? We've seen lots of evidence of it. You even testified to that effect at the State Cultr Commission, that you couldn't do nothing, even though you saw something, because you were afraid that if you exposed what was going on, you would be silenced forever and then you wouldn't attain power. And you attaining power had to do with you saving the country from corruption instead of you just preserving the influence that you have and allowing yourself to have unfettered access to power. And that's it. He's really sunk it. When it comes to football, I mean, Naspers owns South African football. You know? And Cyril's brother-in-law just so happens to be the president of CAF. Oh my goodness. So Naspers owns African football because they also own the satellite on the continent as well.
Yeah, before Patrice Motsepe was president of the Confederation of African Football, the CAF Champions League was not on SuperSport. Immediately afterwards, within months, it was back on SuperSport.
Oh, damn. I hope there was no undue influence there. You understand what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is that, like Mkotedim Pierre defended Zuma, Batoy is going to defend Cyril. And if she's forced to press charges against him, it'll only be after the December conference.
Yeah, because I'm trying to preempt as we have these conversations, Oguti, will he not be affected by the step aside which she champions so much?
No, only after the conference.
So they're going to try and delay this.
They will delay it. The Hawks are going to investigate this as their lowest priority.
Is it not enough that you're being investigated? You must be charged in order to...
You need to be charged.
In order for it to trigger the step aside.
Yeah. And I mean, if you've been convicted, then the matter has been brought to finality and therefore you can come back. Because you step aside until the matter has been brought to finality. That's why Batabile Dlamini hasn't stepped aside. Because...
And she's been
convicted. She's been fined.
That's quite a...
So the matter has
I've
been...
never thought that that's the actual logical conclusion of step aside.
I mean,
you are
like,
found guilty...
the way it's written.
Yeah.
Yes, you step aside until the matter is brought to
But
finality.
it's silent on whether or not if you are guilty.
A conviction does not mean that if you are convicted,
Yeah.
you can be thingamajig. There can be new charges that are brought against you. If you are convicted, you get taken to the Integrity Commission, and if it's found that your conviction brings the party into disrepute, you can be suspended or expelled, the same way Julius was and Floyd was. You know, whilst Julius was expelled and Floyd was suspended
for 5 years or something like that. I'm trying to preempt what's going to happen to him, but I think you've clarified your point of view. Which what do you think is
Nothing's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that might happen is that he might step aside after, so that maybe an
He might
investigation.
step aside as ANC president, but continue as South Africa's president.
No. As South Africa's president,
Why would he step aside willingly?
he'd have to, because he has to step aside from the ANC. The ANC can't have someone who's if you step aside from the ANC, you are recalled.
Yeah.
Yep, literally
I know,
recalling
like,
yourself.
that's the
That's
process.
the thing.
Yeah.
And
Because I know maybe he will be more.
hey man,
willing
that's how
to
he
be-
came to presidency, bro.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean Zuma was forced to step down. Otherwise, they were gonna vote him out.
So hopefully he'll do it by Valentine's Day next year. So we can be in sync. You understand?
Yeah.
And yeah, we can have him going to court throughout that year and it be brought to finality maybe before the 2024, and then maybe those judges that donated to the CR17 campaign will be the ones who are presiding over the matter, and they can find him innocent, or they can fine him. They can find him guilty, but like, you know, sentence him to fines or whatever and sanction him like that. And he pays the fines. And once he pays the fines, I mean, the matter has been brought to finality, he can come back and then say, okay, I'm standing for election. You know? Because at the end of the day, he needs to have power to protect those who have assisted him to corrupt the nation the way in which he has.
It's incredible the contrast between one candidate who's viewed one way and the other. I mean, he was supposed to be the antidote to what Zuma was. And I always have the perception or the idea that all of these niggas are the same.
ANC is the same.
All of these niggas.
That's how the ANC works. That people need to understand that the ANC works on that. It's patronage, corruption, and anything. That's why I've always said I don't want to get involved with anything because all of them are compromised. When I say that, I mean it. It's not like I'm saying, oh no, I'm just, no, I mean it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it is what it is, man.
Okay, can you wrap up with reason and slick talk?
We're not even gonna get to the Senzo Meyiwa trial.
Oh yeah, let's talk that then. Yeah,
what about the second docket now that we've had access to it?
That's interesting actually. Yeah, sorry to jump. I was thinking you pressed for time. The second docket, what does it really mean? Okay, just to give context, there's a second docket that was introduced by Advocate Zandile Mshololo, who said that there's a different docket that implicates all the people that were in the house, including Kelly Khumalo, Zandile Khumalo, Kelly's mother, and the friend and the best friend and so on.
And Piri and whatever.
Yeah, so it has different suspects who are not the 5 suspects that are currently on trial now.
What it means is that Kherinel just wanted this matter brought to finality so that he could look like a hero. That is it.
And that's what Sfiso Meyiwa.
That's what he said. That's why they had a fallout.
Yes, that's why he was like,
because
I'm not going to continue with you.
Exactly. Because you just want to claim the glory and say, yeah, AfriForum helped him. These are not the people that killed his brother, and he knows that. And the evidence was planted, the bullet was planted, everything. The whole entire crime scene is contaminated, and therefore this whole entire thing that's happening right now is a mistrial. It's a mistrial. So it's going to be thrown out, and then we're going to have to start the trial again with the second docket.
I'm happy that it started, even though it started on a false start with wrong suspects.
Well, I mean, it's a good start because it's now exonerating the falsely accused.
Yeah.
You understand? But I mean, as a black man, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
And this is proof.
Absolutely. Even though some of the suspects were in prison at the time.
Yeah. And they're guilty of other crimes, yes. That's why they're in prison.
For sure.
But as a black man, you are guilty until proven innocent. This is not how they treated Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah. So you're saying probably it will go to they will try these other 5, probably
the 7.
most likely
the 7.
Sorry.
These 5, the case will be dropped. I think it should wrap up within this week. The judge will say no, clean, because he'll see that actually if he continues to pursue, the only result that'll come after that is that they'll appeal to a higher court, and then the higher court will say that this was a mistrial. They need to start the trial again.
Yeah.
You understand? And then to start the trial again, to exonerate them when you know that you're not going to find them guilty in the trial. The evidence already shows that you're not going to find them guilty. Why would you go through all that effort? That would be an unnecessary delay, and it would be just do so much reputational damage to the judge himself that, I don't think he'd risk that. You will never be given a high-profile case again after that. I mean, like, what happened to Judge Masipa?
Yep. Who gave Oscar Pistorius 5 years.
Yeah. And now she's known as a shit judge.
Shit. And her interpretation was that it's not murder, it's culpable homicide.
Shit judge, Masipa. So it's a shit show. It's a fuck up. Like in the words of Advocate Defo. You understand? So that's going to be thrown out, and then the real trial is going to start. And then all those people that thought I was crazy and I was mad because I went on that rant on Instagram Live when I saw all those Kelly Khumalo billboards all over the Showmax, and I was like, how is it that we can put Kelly Khumalo on billboards all over the country when Senzo Meyiwa's mother still hasn't found justice?
Yeah, I think black men are being fucking disrespected, because there's also a Netflix thing that's circulating now.
Doesn't matter.
22 million.
No, that Netflix thing is old. That Netflix
they've
deal.
Been playing,
yeah, they've been
to do it.
No, they recorded it.
Are they recording it?
They recorded it a long time ago.
Oh,
so they spoke to people in the industry. That Netflix series is maybe like it was already 5 years old. So
how are they going to explain away if those ones are implicated and they have a trial. How will Netflix justify the ethics of what they did if those ones are found guilty one way or the other?
Netflix said, let's get a recruitment company to hire people in South Africa who's got experience. Where does the experience come from? Comes from DSTV.
Yeah, television.
Okay, so they hired the same people who didn't think anything when they put it on Showmax. And the same people are now commissioning. The same people who used to commission for DSTV, the Nkateko Mabasos, are now at Netflix. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The same people who
put Slay Queens.
The same people who put Slay Queens on TV. And I'm not saying cancel Netflix. I'm saying like, okay,
like cancel the subscription.
Cancel Showmax, cancel DSTV, cancel. Like cancel it. Because at the end of the day, you're watching PSL football, but one of our heroes, one of our PSL legends dies, and the owners of the PSL do a reality show with someone who is presumed culpable in either defeating the ends of justice or murdering him. Imagine. The same DSTV premiership
that exists on football rights.
You understand what I'm saying? And you guys are not going to the stadiums. You're making money for DSTV. And how much are you paying per month? 1,000, what? I cancelled my DSTV. That 1,000, I can save it.
And football, I'm part of the people you're appealing to. That is the only reason why I have DSTV. Because I work in football.
That's it. So therefore, watch it at your nearest pub. Go to the pub. Going to the pub to watch your favorite team is going to be less than your monthly subscription of DSTV. Trust you me. And it's going to be more enjoyable. It's much more of a social activity. You can have your friends there and everything else. Go to your local pub, support your local businesses, watch the game there. Yes, they can pay their commercial DSTV subscriptions, but it's only for sports. And, erase everything else. Forget about anything else. Anything else, you guys can get your internet connection and you can watch on YouTube. The matches that you don't watch, because you can't watch 2 matches live. The matches that you don't watch, you'll watch the highlights on YouTube.
You're saying that the Netflix thing has been in the works. They've been
It's been in the works.
It's not a rumor, as we are saying.
No, they shot. They already done some shooting already.
And it's 22 million.
I don't know about the figures. No, I mean, Musa Kaulo is not the most reliable source. You know what I mean? So you have to take him with a pinch of salt. But I mean, he hits the nail on the head more times than not.
Yeah.
Or the head on the nail. So
I just can't get past that you've just played as Netflix. It's so disappointing. You've just played Senzo Meyiwa's documentary.
No, what
series.
about the Showmax reality show of hers?
I have my stance on it. It's fuck you to it.
Yes, and then that's the reality series. She's demonizing the father of her child, of her son. You know what I mean? To the child. Telling the child, oh yeah, and using the child for a reality show. This child is out there now misbehaving, bringing weed to school and all that type of stuff, being denied access to his father, just destroying. And black women are celebrating. Yes, punish him, destroy the black man. Yes, they're cheering her on. Yes, tell his son that the father is a deadbeat. Make sure the son knows that his father ain't nothing, so that he can grow up to be just like his father. Yes. And that's it. And women have now painted themselves into a corner. Now they can't even speak. They can't even say anything. Now they're silent. Now people are saying, oh, so women, now you're silent now. Hey. And they can't, because they've been on this whole entire feminist wave, and they can't admit that their brains were controlled by their enemies. Their enemies infiltrated their brains. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that the media brainwashes us, because that's what it does. It was invented for that. You are not superhuman where the media won't brainwash you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you need to be able to cut these things off. Switch these things off. You don't need to have a TikTok. Dog, I get told all the time that people are sharing videos of me that are trending on TikTok.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands.
I don't know how many views they have. I don't know. I don't
They probably
care.
pushing
I don't
a
give a
million.
damn. I don't care. I don't care. All I have is my username on TikTok, and that's it, so that no one catfishes me. or uses me as a catfish to make some funny content. You understand? That's it. But I'm not going to go onto that platform. I've seen what Twitter did to me. I've seen what Instagram did to me. I've seen what Facebook is doing to my mother. You understand? So, like...
Do you think there will be, just on finality on the Senzo Netflix, do you think there will be enough public pressure for them to not publish that? They've already paid for it. It's already been recorded. As you say, I didn't
What
even
I'm
know
saying
that.
is that the people that are putting this up are probably people who are compromised because they've got pictures and videos of them sleeping with transgender people or something like that. Their wives don't know that they've been cheating on them with TV presenters and sports stars and whatnot. So the content that we are shown on TV is content that is forced down our throats because someone up there is being blackmailed.
As you said, pictures of God.
That's it. You got naked pictures of God. So, nothing is going to happen. You just have to choose not to watch it. So therefore, just cancel your subscription.
I can't get myself.
Cancel your subscription.
I've never even seen that Showmax thing. I'll never.
Cancel your subscription, bro. Just cancel your subscription.
Yeah.
And if we cancel our subscription and then we say, okay, fine, we'd rather pay SABC to have a sports channel. SABC 4. Maybe.
Yeah, they already have online SABC Sport. Put it on free to air.
You understand? And we pay for it. Rather. And then have our sports back. And then we actually pay for the rights. Because it would be a premium service. SABC could have a premium service. But SABC won't do that because why? They make their money from DSTV. So there's a conflict of interest there. So they've been paid by DSTV. That's their biggest supporter. DSTV gives them more money. DSTV is the biggest advertiser on SABC. If you watch SABC, all you see is DSTV ads. Oh, this is playing on such and such a channel. This is playing on such and such a channel. This is playing. Get DSTV now. Whatever. That's the biggest advertiser. Nothing is going to happen. Just the same way Proverb is bringing back Somizi on Thingamajig. And then he says, no, it's not me. What. I'm just a producer on the show. Hey. Just, Yazin. I'd rather have you read this than me say it.
Is he not just a producer, an executive producer?
I'd rather have you read this. Read this. What is his long message to me? What does it say? Read it.
Afternoon, my brother. As you know, I co-produce the show. I'm not the broadcaster nor the channel. I have absolutely nothing to do with the HR elements. I am but talent and co-production. So I humbly ask you to redirect perspective and exclude me. I do not influence who works on the show. I am myself also employed by the channel. Much respect. Thank you so much. Gotcha. This is your response. Gotcha. I hope you understand my principled stance. Zero tolerance of abuse and the like. And then he responds, you are well within your rights to have and express your views at all times, my brother. Just wish you wouldn't implicate me or aim the stray bullets at an innocent bystander.
And then my response?
You say you are not a bystander.
Why
do you believe that?
Because he's a co-producer on the show. Dude, quit your job. Proverb, quit your job. Don't allow your kids to see you presenting a show with a sex offender. Quit your job, dog. Do you need that check that much, dog? Quit your job.
Yes.
If they're forcing you to work with Somizi, then damn, that's a damn shame. If you need that check, that's a crime shame, dog. That's a crime shame. Which means you need the lifestyle more than anything else. You need the prestige. You've done that show for how many seasons now? Over 10 seasons that he's been the presenter of the show. Come on, dog. Come on. You can move on. Produce other shows. Ask them to give you another show. You've done it, your parts. Thank you. Don't allow your kids to do that. It's bad enough your kids have to watch Edwin Sodi's cars being repossessed. After what Edwin Sodi did to your kids' living arrangements. Come on, man. Do we have no backbone? As a man. Come on, bro. As a man. The guy is a convicted sex offender who has ideation of pedophilic things. He's got pedophilic thoughts. He sits next to MacG. He says, yeah, banging phone when you say teenage. I was waiting for you to turn 18. That's a pedophile. Imagine if someone said that to your daughter. That's you. While you were in primary school, I was looking at you. I was waiting for the time that you're going to go to your matric dance. That's a pedophile. You understand? So now when it's done to a boy child, because the black child is nothing happens. We don't see it the same way. Because me, I was really disturbed when I saw that clip. I'd never seen it before. That's why I say Somizi's got naked pictures of God. You know, Aubrey Tao gives him another job. You know, they even invited my wife to come and do this lovey-dovey, what. My wife asked me, yo, they're calling me to do this lovey-dovey. What should I tell them? I said, what do you want to tell them? She says, I don't want to do it. And I said, hey, man, I'm glad we're on the same page. I wouldn't want to impose on you. I wouldn't,
Yeah, that's
if
a
you want
difficult
to.
predicament for you.
And the way they did it, they called her last minute, what, knowing that it's going to cause friction at home. You know, they use Asheli Mhlope's daughter to do it. A conduit. No, man, you're not going to have my family out there with Somizi again. I already introduced Somizi to my nephew. Not knowing that he's a convicted sex offender, because, I mean, who was going to read his biography anyway? I mean, he can't even speak, never mind writing. So, like, you know. And he's a spoiled kid. At the end of the day, your dad was a TV star, your mother's a movie star, and you're a sex offender. Your parents are turning in their graves. That's why I'm Shefana Sheikh Dal. Boni Lutia. This Somizi kid is going to destroy my name. I'd rather not be alive to see it.
That's harsh.
It's true.
That's very harsh.
It's true. It's true. Because when I walk around, I'm the spitting image of my father. People remind me I'm my father's son everywhere I go. I'm never allowed to forget that. And that's why I behave the way I do, because I know I'm a representation of him. I walk around with my grandfather's ears. These big ears, when you tease them, you remind me that these are my grandfather's ears. He passed them down to me. That's generational wealth. The reputation my grandfather has is passed down through my ears. I need to uphold that. That's kingship. That's royalty. It's not just any grandfather. I don't fall from just any tree. You know? Neither does Somizi. But he's a rotten apple. And he's fallen and rolled very far from the tree. So yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say about the whole entire, I mean, and their friends, Nabokedi Kumar. So, birds of a feather. You know? That's it. You know? I guess the cleansing ceremony that they did after Senzo got killed did not work. And the amount of lies, how many lies on lies and lies and lies and lies and lies. And the thing is this, the truth will always come out.
Eventually.
You know, the long arm of the law, you know, you can't keep this quiet for over 20 years because that's the statute of limitations. We're not even halfway. We're not even 10 years in. So trust me. And you know someone say something weird. You know, had these guys just admitted to this crime in the beginning, they'd probably be out on parole by now.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
They'd be out on parole by now. So, you know, that's that. As for Reason, Yena, Reason, you know.
That was my favorite boom bap backpack rapper when I was younger. Even though he's like...
How the mighty have fallen.
He's 3 years older than me.
So Lanzana nabo slick talk. Nya Lanzana no slick talk. Slick talk says this. It's like...
Reason?
If a dog bites you, Nkululeko, you're going to bite it.
No, obviously not.
Exactly, because you're not a what? You're not a dog.
Not a dog, yeah.
Exactly. So...
You've been an upcoming
if a mule kicks you, you're going to kick it.
No.
Because you're not a mule.
Yeah.
Don't make an ass of yourself then. So, you know, imagine.
But Slick Talk has punches.
Slick Talk punished him, dog. Slick Talk punished him. You know, and the saddest thing is that this is all because of Warner Music. This is what Warner Music artists need to resort to. They need to resort to cloud chasing because their record label puts billboards on William Nicol. That's not the target market for Sizwe Alakain. Why don't you put a billboard on Vilagazi Street? Why don't you put a billboard on top of Gonka? Put a gigantic billboard on top of Gonka so that anyone who comes to Gonka sees After Tears. You understand? Put a big billboard outside Avalon.
Were you impressed by his impression of Slick Talk?
I'm disappointed by how pathetic the label is. I mean, I'm just disappointed by how pathetic Warner is. The week before, Zahara was crying. That's how useless Warner is. You don't know any other artist at Warner. Warner changes their name. They have parties. They use the company credit card.
About them.
Yeah, I mean, for what? Why can't I talk about them? They're public. I see their billboards in the streets, right?
Look, man,
on William Nickel.
Out your mouth, nigga. They're gonna pull a Birdman on you.
Who?
Respect my name, nigga.
Who at Warner?
Respect
who at Warner?
my
Who
name,
at Warner is going to do that? Who at Warner?
They'll probably will be their artists.
They need to. Their artists are struggling, suffering right now. Their artists are agreeing with me, saying, "Yo, tell these people in the office." If I was Reason, I'd take a dump on the desk. I'd go to the offices, pull my pants down, take a dump on the desk, and walk out. And I know the cleaning staff is not going to clean that up. The cleaning staff is going to say, "What? Ningazosihlanyela. Ngeke sula makaka thina." You understand what I'm saying? And then the CEO, whoever is there, will have to clean that up herself. That's what I would do. Ngoba bayamnyela. So magabanyele back.
My videographer is grossed out by the description.
I mean, like that's the only way. That's the only way. They must Amber Heard. The artist must Amber Heard them. You understand? And then bazozwa again.
Does he have any valid grievance? I know you made an example of a dog and a mule, but does he have any valid grievance towards Slick Talk?
No,
how do musicians respond
it's not about. I don't think it was about Slick Talk.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was just knowing that, okay, fine, this is probably going to get views, going to get attention. I'm going to be able to promote my single because my label is not promoting my single. So I need to go desperate times for desperate measures. The single's been out for 2 weeks. Nothing is happening. All that's happening is that the Warner had a name change. And then they had a name change, and that's what they spent their money on. And whatever other substances that they have to take. Understand? Because that's what the credit cards are used for. Not for writing lines, but for swiping, for substances. You understand?
That's Bambi, so
no, I'm serious. Is alcohol not a substance? Is alcohol not a drug?
That's Bambi.
You know? So, I mean, these alcoholics that work in the Warner offices, all they're doing is using the artists so that they can drink on weekends. Oh, let's do this for the artists so that we can have another excuse to drink. Oh, let's do this for the artists so we can have another excuse to drink. Let's do this. And they do their events at all the same clubs where they drink, the drinking spots. They don't take the event to, they don't take the After Tears event to where the people are supposed to be. Reason's supposed to be in K1. They're supposed to do an event, a hurricane or something, shut down the streets. Do that. Get on the ground. Why is Reason not in the hood? Where the After Tears are actually happening. There's no After Tears that happens in Sandton. It's a wake. Seriously. And these guys are sleeping on the job.
I think you've made your point about that multiple times. And I see it. I see as you're saying it, I see it. I think they probably could do a better job. They definitely could do a better job in supporting the artists. I remember when we last spoke about Zahara's 2 albums, I didn't even know that.
She had 2 albums out with them.
I didn't know.
You understand?
I didn't know.
You understand? So
and I know that she's been releasing music, but I didn't know that.
What's the reason?
There was a major
that you didn't know.
label.
What's the reason that you didn't know?
If it's in front of me, I would know.
It's because Warner is not doing their job.
Yeah.
That's it. Their job is to market and promote.
I've seen it as you've been making this point. I've seen it.
They're not on radio. They're not on the charts. There's not one Warner's release that's nominated there in Record of the Year. If they were to nominate a Warner release, they'd have to nominate Ed Sheeran. Pathetic. So the staff there must know that, you know what, and even their boss, the boss of emerging markets, fire them, bro. Just fire the staff at Warner, dog. Like, what have they ever achieved? Like, that makes them, like, do they have naked pictures of God too? Do they? Fire them. Unemployment is already high. They'll join join the band. There's lots of unemployed people for them to hang out with. Seriously, I mean, unemployment is not something to be ashamed of in South Africa. Most people are unemployed. So they can be in the majority. Instead of being in the minority and eating the company's money and spending the company's money on the company credit cards and looking down on the broke artists who are broke because these guys are not promoting them. Like, seriously. Like, it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. What these artists need to resort to get attention is disgusting. It's disgusting that our legend, like Zahara, needs to resort to that to get attention. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that they use Zahara to destroy DJ Sbu's name. It's disgusting. Disgusting. And Slick Talk is not going to reply.
This is Slick Talk, and I'm back with another video. Reason has been an upcoming rapper for the last 10 years. You're pathetic. You've had potential for a very long time. No hit singles. And I felt so bad because I love Reason. That's like my favorite rapper when I was a teenager. I love Reason.
Nah, B. Warner, no, man. Warner are doing Reason dirty. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what you must do. You must just go there to the offices and shit on the desk.
That's gross misconduct.
And leave a stink. It's not. What are they going to do? Sue him?
No, they're going to...
Send him a cease and desist from shitting on our shit.
Massive Island Hotel. We'll do this very frequently.
It's fine. He doesn't need to shit on the desk. I've already shit on them enough.
And you're gonna get the letter.
Which one? No, they sent that letter. No, they sent that letter from the internal legal team. They didn't pay for those lawyers. That's a free letter to send out. But you're gonna get the letter. And so what?
And I know what is.
I'm gonna wipe.
Include an but I was like, we'll deal with it.
I'm gonna wipe my ass with it.
Yeah, you have the money to like be.
I don't even respond. I receive those letters. I put them in spam. Yeah, that's it. I report it as spam. That's it.
Until you get an officer?
From the sheriff. Until I get something from the sheriff, I'm not going to take it seriously. Cease and desist. Black Coffee also sent me a cease and desist. Trying to strong arm me.
Okay, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Nota. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, that's Bambi, so.